What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 56. And we start today's stuff, as you can see, as we finally enter January. It's got to be one of the best months of FIFA CM season, right? The transfer window is open, a chance to make signings and sales and wheel and deal midway through a campaign, but with £1 million in our transfer budget. Not entirely sure we'll be doing much of that. Yes, basically no money to work with whatsoever after we spent all of it, or practically all of it, in the summer transfer window. And to be honest, I don't think I will look to make changes in this January window, unlike last year where of course we sold Kulusevski to Manchester United for a record sale, and then bought back Bukayo Saka from Dortmund for a club record signing. In the end, that big gamble proved to pay off. Bukayo's been fantastic this year. I don't think we've missed Kulusevski. We've got a lot more out of Saka than we did from Kulusevski last year. But I don't really plan on making big moves whatsoever, because you'll see the squad in just a moment's time as I run you through the academy after another scouting update here and look at our fixtures for a packed month of January. The Toffees away, Wolves away in the FA Cup third round, both legs against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semi-final, the first one coming today away at Anfield, the second one at home right at the end of the month. We've got Wolves again in the Premier League, our former team, Burnley at home, and Nottingham Forest away as well. As I run you through the squad here, I think we're okay. I think we're alright. Yes, just had that damaging draw there to Crystal Palace at the Emirates in the very last game. We're still only 3 points behind Man City with 18 games to go in the league. We're into the Champions League round of 16. I'm very pessimistic about our chances of getting through it against the Galacticos Real Madrid. But, we're in the Carabao Cup semi-finals for the first time ever. Obviously, the FA Cup, the third round, that's coming against Wolves as well. We got a much better showing than we had last year after our early exit to Everton in the fourth round. But, there's definitely a chance, whilst I haven't really discussed it, that we might not just win one trophy this year. We could win multiple. Now, I don't really mind if it's just a one trophy. I just want a piece of silverware of some kind in the cabinet come the end of the campaign. I really don't mind at this stage what it is. I just want a major honour to be won here with the Gunners. But there is a possible chance, when you think about it, that we could maybe win a treble of sorts. A domestic treble, a League Cup, a Champions League, and a Premier League, an FA Cup, and a Champions League, a League Cup, an FA Cup, and a Champions League. I don't think that's ever been won before, a League Cup, an FA Cup, and a Champions League together. But it's definitely doable. There's definitely a chance of a treble at some point, but if we are to do that, we need to make sure that the squad stays fit, fresh, and fighting on all four fronts. That's going to be tough with so many games coming. We're going to need all of our squad, really, at different stages this year. I talked about the importance of quality of squad depth being improved this year. That's why we spent so much money on players that have primarily been coming off the bench this season, such as Harvey Barnes and Harry Wilson. We need that quality in depth if we are to be competitive on multiple fronts this year. And on the back of the draw to Crystal Palace, now taking on Everton away from home. I mentioned them before. They are such an unpredictable side in both FIFA CM and in FM as well. But in this game, my goodness gracious me, I was finding it almost impossible to defend against them. We had the best defensive record in the division recently, but not after this game. Boateng scored a brace. We went 3-1 down right after the restart whilst Reece Nelson got us back in the game. It didn't seem to matter. We looked very good when going forward, I'll be honest, as we often do. But defensively, ironically, we looked absolutely terrible. I literally could not defend Boateng in this game. His skill was just unbelievable, man. The amount of skill which he was pulling off was extraordinary. And again, 20 minutes after the restart, as Martinelli comes off the bench and does get us back in the game to make it 3-2. It didn't seem to matter. Quickly picked the ball up and thought there's still a chance we can get something from this game. But again, I wasn't really too confident because every time we went forward, it looked as though we could possibly get a goal or test the goalkeeper with a tough shot on target. But every time Everton went forward, I knew they'd get a goal because I just couldn't stop them, particularly Boateng. This guy just ran rings around me in this game with his skill moves, his agility, his pace, his awareness, his positioning, his off-the-ball movement. He was always quick off the mark and getting in behind the back line. And towards the end of the game, he bagged his hat-trick, won the match ball, and won Everton the game as well. 4-2 the final score. I couldn't stop him, scored with every single shot he took, although to be fair, Leno, what was he doing for that fourth goal? I really don't know. Absolutely shocking positioning and also awareness and concentration from the German there. But even so, 4-2 the final score. And again, offensively going forward, it looked pretty decent. But defensively, ironically, that's been our main strength this year. Don't know what was going on, man. I just could not stop Boateng. He was just so tricky and so elusive in that game. 4-2 the final score. Back-to-back games in the Premier League without a win. And that will put pressure on my shoulders heading into the FA Cup third round, because we know last year getting knocked knocked out early in the FA Cup 4th round. This supposed cup specialist with a really poor showing in last year's competition can't afford to do it back to back, and if we were to go out here with my manager rating dropping, the board would be thinking, should we sack him midway through the year and bring someone in with more experience? Heading into the game, I needed a good result here away at Molineux. I had to be on my game for this one. I had to perform better, and early on into the game, Josh Da Silva, former Burnley boy, makes it 1-0, gives us the early lead, and right before the break, 10 minutes to go in the first half, I should have made it 2. Luis Suarez going through one-on-one, took the shot on way too early though, Sondergaard makes the stop and pushes it behind for a corner. But leading by 1, unlike in the Everton game, I didn't feel too much pressure, even though I never feel comfortable with a 1-goal lead. Wolves weren't pressing too much, they weren't attacking too much, and every time we went forward we looked like scoring. Later into the game, 70 minutes to go, Josh Da Silva at half, everything in this game rolls through Harvey Barnes, who drills it into the top corner, and again, what a signing he's been from Leicester. We spent so much money and included that big sell-on clause to bring him in, but I talked about the need for quality in depth. We didn't have it last year, but we do this year, and that's what we need if we are to remain competitive on all 4 fronts. Big win there against Wolves and into the FA Cup 4th round, the stage we got to last season. So heading into the 3rd and final game of today's episode, after we reject that bid there for Mark McGuinness, one of our squad centre-halves, so I believe he was joined Cardiff in real life, but as I mentioned before, unless we get a realistic offer, I'm not going to let him go. We would have the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final away at Anfield against Liverpool. Heading into this game, never been to this stage before, and as we know, Carabao Cup semis are 2-legged affairs, so looking forward to it, absolutely no doubt about that. And you would have seen by my lineup as well, a really, really strong team pick for it, because this is, without question, one of our best chances at silverware this year. So 8 minutes into the game, on the offensive, I wanted away goals in this game and a big, big victory to take back to the Emirates Stadium. First chance falling to us as well. Kasper Dolberg with a great hold-up play, finding Reece Nelson, but our number 11 firing off target as it was still 0-0. But in the early stages, it was all Arsenal. I was being very brave. I was being on the offensive. We've lost both times we've been here to Anfield with Arsenal since we came in last season, but they were both league games, and as the cliche goes, the league is the league. But a cup is a totally different matter. Heading into the game, feeling confident. As we know, the form book goes out the window when you go into the cup games. And Kasper Dolberg in for Luis Suarez. I started a Colombian the previous round. I think Klopp was expecting him to start once again. But Dolberg is our top scorer in his competitions. It was a big decision to play the Dane, but it looked to pay off. He created our first chance and scored our first goal as he put us a goal up. However, when things were all plain sailing and going according to plan, 5 minutes after the restart, disaster. Reece Nelson cuts in from the left, goes to shoot, tripped up. It's an accidental, an unfortunate collision. When you see the replay, look at his leg get twisted around there. It looked bad. The referee stopped play immediately, and I think everyone knew what to expect come the final whistle. Reece Nelson stretched it off. Martinelli comes on. Damn, oh damn, oh damn. Still up by a goal though, and despite that we weren't going to stop attacking with intensity, still leading by 1 and looking for a second. And as we'd see, 18 minutes after the restart and soon after Nelson's serious injury, we were resilient, we continued to stay hungry and look for more goals, and we got our second of the game. Kasper Dolberg bagging his brace, but Boubacar Kamara, what a vision to spot Dolberg all alone after Van Dijk lost him in the area. I love those intelligent balls, you know, where the ball is played forward into the box when a player loses their marker in so much space. It just shows great awareness from the guy that got the assist. That was there from Kamara, finding Dolberg, who finished the chance off, made it 2-0. What a big result in the first leg. So getting back to the Emirates Stadium, Liverpool need 2 in North London. If they can't get that, we are into our first ever Carabao Cup final. But at what cost? Because Reece Nelson's injury is exactly what we feared. Those 3 letters. ACL. 7-month injury for Reece Nelson. Another fabulous campaign from the former Burnley lad. 14 goals and 3 assists in 29 in all competitions. Up a rating to 89 overall. And whilst he probably wasn't going to retain the golden boot anyway, though he still definitely had the chance, He won't have the chance now. He's done for the rest of the season. Reece Nelson is gone. And again, this is why we spent so much money on the players like Harvey Barnes, just in case these kind of things happen. Second ACL of the season. We knew we were going to get more injuries this year, though, with so many games coming. But that one, the biggest of the series. Nelson done for the rest of the campaigns. We dropped to 4th in the Premier League as well. Now 5 points behind the new league leaders, Liverpool. It is going to be tough now to keep those treble dreams alive and remain competitive on all 4 fronts. But that was this episode of the Realistic CM, guys. Big fan of watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic CM with no more Reece Nelson for the rest of the campaign very soon.